experienced women being better leaders in any kind of capacity? Even in school, if you had like a class representative and the likes, did you have women as leaders in there? How did it work out for you? But Itoha, how do you feel about this?
Um, well, I think women are better leaders actually. Not because, excuse me, not because I'm a woman, but if you look at the nature of a woman, first and foremost, she's a mother.
Mm-hmm.
And as we all know, mothers are very detailed, they're very empathetic, they pay very close attention to details. Um, Women in their nature, the way I think they lead is that they are participatory. Participatory in the sense that they get you involved with whatever task is set before them, as opposed to the male folk that's very, very authoritative because of their persona and their male ego. So if you have a woman as a leader, for example, in an office or in an organization, I believe that the way she would execute her task is by getting to know each person almost on a personal basis, and then assigning tasks to each and every one of them based on their strengths and their competencies. But if you look at the male part, a man would give you a task not caring whether you're up to the task or not, not caring about your strengths or your weaknesses. I don't think that the male folk would pay that much attention or that much detail into your personality before assigning you a task. Whereas a woman will be very, very, she'll be intentional about actually getting to know you because she's result oriented. I believe
Mm-hmm.
she's more result oriented. Therefore, she would like to incorporate your personality into whatever task that she feels that you should. And their empathetic nature would enable them not to be inconsiderate. Do you
Mm.
understand? Yes, they're very, very considerate in that term. So I believe that women are, they will make for better leaders. I strongly agree.
Okay, now of course there are many scenarios and many examples that people will cite, from big businesses to small businesses to politics and the likes, where women do get the chance to be leaders, or even they get the opportunity to display how they would perform if they were to be if they were put in even higher or bigger
Yeah.
positions as well. But when people tend to say that, oh yeah, a woman will make for a better leader, let's give the women a chance, etc, etc. I would say, for instance, like in the situation of in politics, for instance,
Yeah.
we've had women who have also strayed,
Mm-hmm.
or we would say did haven't exactly represented the women folk well,
Okay.
in terms of there are different allegations against people, in terms of people who have embezzled money and the likes. There was a situation with one of the former ministers of aviation.
Yeah.
There was one with there was also one in the past, for the person was actually the first female speaker of the
Mm-hmm.
Nigerian House of Representatives, Patricia Ete. There was the
Mm-hmm.
time that she was in the news as well. I
Yeah.
believe she had to face
Yeah.
a tribunal at some point. There's also the ones with the allegations against the former minister for petroleum as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, there are instances where, not just in Nigeria, in Africa in
Mm-hmm.
general,
Mm-hmm.
there's also instances where other women have somehow, not portrayed that whole
Okay.
ideology of women being better
Better
leaders.
now. Okay.
Go ahead.
Can I, with regards to that, I think that has little or nothing to do with being a woman. I think that's a character flaw.
Mm,
I think that's something that has to do with the person's personality. Look, a thief is a thief.
mm-hmm,
You just need to put the right conditions for him to start to manifest. I believe there are women out there. I mean, we have Conjabella.
mm-hmm,
We have Ezekwesili.
mm-hmm,
I haven't heard anything around her.
mm-hmm.
I mean, we also have upcoming women that are in places of authority. So I think it's a character flaw, and I don't think that women should be demonized and deprived the position of leadership based on one or two. Eh, Men also steal. I mean,
Yeah,
men
that
also
also tends to
steal.
happen to
So
them.
why is it that when a woman gets into power and she defaults, it becomes a big thing that hey, we said it to, we're
Mm-hmm,
giving her opportunity now,
mm-hmm,
she's stealing.
Mm-hmm.
She's a human being and she made a mistake, or women do make mistakes also. So I don't think they deserve to be demonized, or the women folk should be marginalized based on a few mistakes of some people that misrepresented.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a character flaw.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody under certain conditions can be tested and fall.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it doesn't
Yeah,
apply.
I mean, for in yeah, like you correctly said, it is a character flaw. Anyone, man or woman, that could definitely happen to them. It could
Yeah,
be the
anybody is
situation
susceptible.
with,
Yes,
yes, acceptable to that. It could be the
susceptible. Yes.
situation, for them in that kind of scenario.
Yep.
But I kind of feel like most times it kind of makes it seem as though when they say women are better leaders, it almost seems as though, you know, there's like certain themes or certain, because you mentioned quite a bit of things about certain traits that women possess,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we can also say that men also possess certain traits that would, one could also arguably say, yeah, could make them better leaders than women. Most men tend to be very structured, they're well
Mm-hmm.
put together.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they would even say that if you want to get married to someone, you better tell him the things you plan to do with yourself, because they tend to incorporate you in their plans as well, or look for a way, depending on whatever plans they have as well, they would incorporate your own plans into that as well. They tend to be good
Hmm.
planners too sometimes.
And okay, so for me, for the male folk, I think because of their ego,
The thing.
times they would not seek your opinion. That is why they're authoritative. They would not seek your opinion. They wouldn't want to know what you have to say about so. They would just make the decisions on their own, and at the end of the day, they fall into a ditch. And then they have to start doing all sorts to correct their errors, correct their mistakes. See, I believe every leader, like I believe the male, I believe a male leader has some, or might be able to develop some feminine features. And I believe the female leader has the ability to develop the male features of leadership. Now, male, like men take a lot of risks.
Yeah, they're known to take
Yes,
risks.
so when
Yeah.
it comes to being a leader, I admire that in a man.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to take risks, he's able to make decisions when you're at a crossroad. He can just say, you know what, we're going this way and we're going this way. But a woman, on the other hand, she wouldn't just jump at something. She would ask for the opinion of each and every person. Like she carries everybody along and she thrives upon the opinions of her followers. Do you understand? Like she thrives on the opinions of her followers, and I think that's something that's very admirable. But I know that there are times when she also needs to be stern, and she
Mm-hmm.
also needs to make up her mind on what she needs. So that's why I said that there are some features that a woman needs to also imbibe from the male part, and vice versa.
Okay, so we're gonna, talk a bit more about, stern women who are stern or not, experiences with, women and men in the workplace or in life in general and the like. So we're gonna go on a quick break and we'll be right back. Hey Nikki,
Afternoon.
how are you?
Hi, Lagos will not kill somebody.
Sorry. This is Itoha.
Hi.
This is Nikki Laoye. She's also one of our guests. And Soul Search. She's one of our soul sisters. This is our new soul sister, by the way, because the more the merrier.
Do you want me to change that chair?
That is how we like things over
You
here.
know what I was doing also? I was looking at the time.
Why?
I was nervous. I was just looking at them. God, please, 2 o'clock. God, please, 2 o'clock.
Don't worry. As long as you relax and you're just gisting, right? You won't realize when the time goes.
But how
Yeah.
was it?
It's been good. Really good. That's like I tell you, there's nothing for you to be nervous about.
I'm
Don't
so
worry.
happy you're here.
No, it's fun. Just gist. We're just gisting.
Exactly.
That's just what it is. We're
It's
just
like
gisting.
I come into your office and then I'm talking to you about
I
stuff.
wrote to notebook. Oh.
But if it helps you, it's fine.
Yeah, it's good if it
But I
helps
didn't even
you.
get to look at it. So, but then,
See? It's
Yeah.
just we'll be back. We're up.
Business or entertainment.
Every man, every woman
And maybe some children. Every living Lagosian.
listens to the Smooth Breakfast. Every weekday from 6 a.m.
Only on Smooth 98.1.
And we are back. Still Soul Sisters on the Casbah City of Lagos. I am Khadijah Oduni. With me, I have my soul sister Itoha in the studio. We have been talking about women and leadership. Do you agree that women are better leaders, and why? What makes them better leaders? What is so special about the women folk that, once they say women, they believe, everyone believes, yeah, a woman will make for a better leader. And I'm also joined right now by my soul sister, Nikki. Nikki Lauye is in the studio with
Yay.
us today, guys.
Yay.
All right. So, yes, it's great to have a full house. And
Mhm.
Nikki, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Women being better leaders?
Girls rock, girl
Girls
power.
rock.
Yay.
Yes.
We can say all of that, but the truth is, I personally think that women make better leaders. Why? Because number one, our emotions actually do help out. Although sometimes, yeah, I know some people say emotions and women, you know,
And the workplace. Do
and the
you need
workplace.
emotions at the
But the truth
workplace?
is, I think women pay more attention.
Yeah.
They're more detailed, because we're so concerned about the little things. So it actually helps in leadership. A woman will be quick to understand those little things that would help, like, okay, if this guy is taken care of, his family is fine, all those things, the salary is well paid, he will work better. Those little details that a man most times, maybe because they're just thinking about getting the job done, might not pay attention to. I think women leaders pay more attention to details, which at the end of the day ensure better productivity. That's what I, because I'm like that. I'm a leader too, in my own little way, with little things that I do. And I know I pay attention to everything, because the way I do things, I want to give people something to remember me for. Like I'm providing a service. I'm trying to talk about me being a business entrepreneur myself right now. It gladdens my heart when my customers send me, wow, that was fantastic customer
Yeah.
service, thank you so much. I'm like, hey, I must continue this thing. That's what I'm trying to say. So being that business lead, be a leader in my own business at this point in time, I'm very particular about the details. I want to leave a memory in your heart. So I believe women leaders have that. They want you to never forget them. They want you to say, that woman, she's one of the best people ever. She's so caring, she's very thoughtful, she's productive, she will get the job done, no, but still this and that and that. So I do believe that women make great better leaders.
Okay.
Some people come
I
after
kind of
us
feel
now.
like I kind of feel like I'm almost playing the devil's advocate here.
Why?
It's your
Because
way.
you said it's my way. Because I kind of feel like, hey, the same way you feel like you need to pay attention to the details. I'm going to use a very simple example. I'm not even going to go too far just yet. You see somebody who sells stuff on Instagram. You try to get something from them. Like you said, the little details, you want to make sure that the service is right, the customer service is good, etc. The same way you purchase with someone, a lady who is 100 with her customer service, everything is on point, delivery. It's the same way you'd purchase with some people and they're just absolutely nasty, like you regret
Oh, you're right,
ever
child.
coming across such people. And
You're
I've
very
also come
right.
across men who also pay attention to details, just like you've mentioned. I remember being in the midst of somebody who is a baker. The wife is the baker. So the man handles her husband, who, by the way, has his own 9 to 5, still comes in weekends. Make
Okay.
sure he comes in, he helps out. He kind of runs the business side to things. But when you have a conversation with him, you realize he also has good knowledge about, the craft, itself. He pays attention to details too. So, which also makes me wonder why everybody feels like, hey, like you said, these things it's about character.
Yeah.
I was about to
Yeah,
say,
it's
say
about
that.
character, because at the end of the day, a man could have these traits,
it's
a
true,
woman
sure.
could have these
Yeah.
traits.
Yeah.
I keep I probably shouldn't be
Mhm.
making this example, but I should talk about this example. For instance, my husband is the one who keeps me on check with what I eat. So every time you see me and you're like, oh, you look so slim right now, you're blah blah blah. Trust me, if you were left to me, I'll be fat. Like I will be big. But he's the one who always pays attention
my
to
goodness.
details. So when I'm having ice cream, he's like, no, you shouldn't be having that. Or you had this on Tuesday, blah blah blah. It kind of seems whatever, but I enjoy when I now get the compliments and I'm like, people are like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, you look nice. Oh my god, blah blah blah. But there's somebody checking me. There's somebody helping me out with that. Do you understand? So I kind of feel like most times a woman could do that and a man
Man
could
could
do that. But
also
it just
do it.
always baffles me when everybody's like, "Oh, women are better leaders. They will do the job better than men." And I'm like,
No, but you're right though. At the end of the day, it's about character actually and personalities which differ.
And upbringing.
Yeah,
too.
not you see now, upbringing. No, it's true. You're very right about that.
Yeah.
I say that about myself because of the way I grew up. I watched my parents being very caring, being detailed, and all of that, and I took that from them. When it comes to my business too, I'm caring, I'm detailed in everything that I do. But like you said, and it's true, I've come along very nasty women in this my trade. Really, some women that actually have to tell them that I will never order anything from you ever again. So okay, like there's something I do when people make orders from my own business. I keep tabs up till you get the order. I'm like,
Yeah.
have you received it? Please let us know. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah. That they were like, wow. Meanwhile, I order from some people that after I even received the order, they don't even bother asking if I've received it or anything.
You're your own.
I'm
Yeah,
on my
that's
own.
it. That's
And
it.
I'm like, okay. So I found out that you're right though. And meanwhile, I've ordered from some male-owned businesses that do the same thing that I do. So I guess at the end of the day, I think it's all about character, personality, and upbringing, like she
Yeah.
said. Whether either you're male or female, that is what will make you a better leader.
Okay. Now for you, Itohan, you definitely work in a proper 9 to 5
Yes.
space.
Yes.
You know, for some of us,
Mm.
you know, the creatives, we're like here and there.
Yeah,
you
true
know,
that though.
we kind of have some of us have a mix of that proper office structure.
Mhm.
Some of you like Mickey is just chilling, you know, she's just doing her thing. But of course, for someone like you, would you say you've had better experience working with a male leader versus a female leader?
Mm.
Unfortunately, I have never had a female boss.
Oh,
Yeah, because of the nature of my job.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in tech and stuff.
Okay.
I have never had a female boss, so I really do
You
not
you
know.
don't know the
I've
difference.
just had few female colleagues,
Okay.
but not really older colleagues. Maybe probably a step or two higher. But I've never had a female boss. Trust me, male bosses.
That laughter, eh?
I think we know.
Ooh.
I think we know.
Because look, you have to get to a point where you just tell yourself, I am a woman and I will not lose my femininity. Yes, because they can be so hard on you
Yeah.
and very unempathetic that you begin to change into. Do you understand? So I've never had a female boss, and I really don't know what it's like having one. So
I kind of feel like Itohan, don't worry, you're working your way to becoming a female boss.
Amen.
So hopefully your subordinates would have something nice to say about
Amen.
you.
But I've actually done 9 to 5s before I went into music full time, and I've
Yeah.
actually had the privilege of having both a male boss and
Mhm.
a female boss
Mhm.
in 2 businesses that I worked with, and I think I had very good bosses, both male and female.
Ooh, I think I would say I've
So I would
had
say it's at the end of the day, it's still the same thing about
character,
character,
right?
and-
Because I
Yeah.
think I've had a mix of both. I've had a situation where the female being the boss, she was just the B word. she was just like, yeah, sometimes. So I think I'm just one of those people who I roll better with guys, I flow better with guys. I think they're easier to deal with. They're
Yeah.
straight, like
Yeah, it's
something
true,
they
they're
say.
straightforward.
Well, you know, with women, there's mixed signals. There is just being cranky and you don't understand
Yeah.
why. There is competition or jealousy. There is all
True that,
sorts.
But
So you're not even really sure what's
one?
going on with some leaders. But in some other cases, I've had female leaders who are absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic.
We're going to go on a quick break right now. Please keep your messages coming on WhatsApp. I see quite a number of them already. 0809 444 0981. Don't forget to tweet at Smooth981FM as well. Check us out on Instagram, Smooth981, and YouTube, Smooth981.
okay, but in fairness, can I talk?
Yeah, thank you very much. I see what you're saying. So, welcome.
But in fairness to my bosses, because I had one boss that was really trying to be a woman for me.
Oh.
Yeah, he was really, you call me, how are you today? Why are you sad? But at some point, it became too touchy.
So it became too touchy.
At some point, I was like, Uncle, calm down. I don't care. Like he genuinely wanted my he genuinely
Your
wanted my
growth and all
well-being.
that.
Yeah.
And most likely that guy, maybe that's just how he is.
That's
Check it
how
out.
he
Maybe he
is.
grew up with sisters.
That's how he is.
Because some people are just so
actually.
they have that
That's-
more.
And then there's also
So
experience.
he's
Yeah.
very
caring.
nurturing.
That's
Whereas the second one, after that one,
I feel like there's also a lot of male bosses because in most organizations or industries, it's usually male dominated and you have male people that are at the top. You have very few female bosses. And
Mm-hmm.
most of these male people, they are predators. Once a female
Mm,
girl comes into,
yeah, predators too.
yeah,
That's
I
another
think that's
issue.
another.
Well,
We should
luckily
even
for
ask, do
me,
Nigerians think we'll do better with a female president?
yes, we're going to ask that next.
Love music, love lifestyle. Smooth 98.
We're back. And we are back once again. This is Soul Sisters on the Casbah. Kind of short on time right now. I kind of feel like this is where the gist is really picking up and it's getting sweet. But let's just get right back into it. Our topic today: do you agree that women are better leaders and why? Nikki is for. Itohan is for. I'm kind of like, yo, guys, really? So yeah, what are your thoughts? What are your experiences when it comes to women being leaders as against the men? I actually got a comment in here. Okay, guys, please, when you send a message, please remember to include your name and your location. Licky just simply says Patricia Ete versus Dora Akwili, aka kind of like trying to weigh good and bad. We have one in here by Andy, who says, I've had both sexes as bosses. It's not fun working with the female boss. I had this lady who just screams anyhow. Trust me, it is not fun. And I think I hear more about ladies who throw tantrums, especially when they're leaders or they're heading a unit or whatever. They throw tantrums. They are mean. The people who want to like almost as though they just want to ruin your life.
For such people, you need to check their relationships if they're married.
Oh,
it's true. You need to check their
maybe this
relationships.
transference of transference of aggression.
Yes, they come and they lash out at you. I really don't see why a female boss would be jealous of her subordinate. You're supposed to be a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to lead. Do you understand? Like, you're supposed to help her grow, not to be envious of the way she looks or how her hair looks or how her nails look like. No, you've lived your early youth.
Yeah.
So I also think it's a problem of identity. At every stage and every step in your life, you need to rediscover yourself. Because if you rediscover yourself again in your mid-30s, you would not envy a 21-year-old because you lived that life, you've passed it. So I think the reason why female bosses lash out is out of frustration and anger. Probably they think they're missing something in their youth that they did not achieve. So maybe this is my calling to be a boss.
Probably. Okay, so now let's go into another question, which is, I think we're just going to round things up with this one. Do you think it's time for us to have a female president, Nikki?
It's not a bad idea to actually check that out. Maybe because we women, like I said earlier, we notice a lot of things. We notice all the bad roads. We notice all the things that are going on that need to be fixed.
I think the men also notice the bad roads too. They fall into it every day.
But sometimes I wonder though, because if they notice this,
I think it just goes back to the character thing.
Character thing again. I guess that's what it is. I just believe it might not be a bad idea to check it out and see what it'll be like. That maybe having a woman there might help to make things a lot faster. Like we said, at the end of the day, still this character thing. There's some wicked women. It's true.
What do you think, Itohan? Are we ready for a female president?
My candid opinion, no.
Wow. Okay.
But the male presidents, well, do you think they're doing the job?
Let me tell you, for a woman to thrive as a president in this country, all other factors have to be treated.
Like what?
Like acceptance. First and foremost, do these men can they take instructions from their wives first and foremost? With the way Nigeria is, with the way Africa is, with the cultural thing.
Okay, minus the cultural thing. I kind of feel like, when it comes to that, I get what you mean, but I really don't think so. It's something, it will play a role. Yeah, it will play a role, right? There will be people who will struggle with it, because in that sense, it's now from the office of the president, not
Yeah.
just
You see this
a
thing,
woman.
it will not be in this generation. It will be our generation or our children. Because
I kind of feel like it'll be our children's generation.
yes, because if
If
you
we're
see,
going by raising the
Yeah,
boys'
yeah,
rights,
anything
yeah,
can
if
happen.
we raise our boys right, we will have a female president.
Anything can
But
happen,
this
that's why we're-
generation, this present day,
anything.
nah.
No, the way Nigeria is going, I think people are looking for a solution that anything can happen right now.
Hmm.
If they feel like anyone can make stuff happen, I think people would rather put, you
And
know,
press their hand on woman.
I'm telling you, as long as if they see that it's someone that can get stuff done, people see right now Nigerians are looking for who can get the job done.
okay, so I have to take this message and then we're going to round this up. This
Okay.
one is by Saint Fadger, who says, not all ladies are detailed. Sometimes when a lady is married and has kids, she acts more detailed than understanding. I have a boss who's a lady and she is 1 in a billion. This topic is great, but we have to round it up right now in this instance, guys. So thank you very much for coming around,
Thank
Itohan. It's
you.
been splendid having you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Yay.
It's always great to have Nikki around
Thank you.
as my soul sister. So guys, you can definitely, if you'd like to see this all over again, check it out on YouTube. Smooth 981. From here on, it's more great music coming your way. That is for sure. Remember, you can also keep the conversation going on Twitter at Smooth 981 FM, on Instagram at Smooth 981. I actually had someone on Instagram saying Enna. I think it was Any Coco who says Enna, like, is that a question? Of course, a woman is a better leader. So, hey guys, go on there and drop your thoughts. We always love to hear from you. From here on, it'll be time for a New Music Monday on the Casbah, but that's going to come up right after postcards. So, stick around.
98.
Oh, this was super, guys.
Yes.
I was